Hello, everybody. How are we doing? Hey, is my audio okay for everybody? Can you give me a quick 10-4 if my audio is coming in okay? Just want to check my volume level really quick. Somebody give me a 10-4 if my volume's okay. Okay, cool. All righty. Well, where shall I begin? Let me share my screen here. All right, so I hope you guys have had a good day. I hope you happy Easter to everybody. Happy Easter. My husband just left with our little girl to go see the Ghostbusters movie. And while they're gone, I'm going to get her special Easter basket finished. Hopefully, I'll have time. We don't do our Easter celebration and stuff until tomorrow. But all right. So, hello. Hi, Purple Phoenix. Let me say hi to some people. Give people a few more minutes to get in here. Hi, Shell. Hi, Pam. Hi, Random the Dime. Hello, Trish. Hi, Nunya Beeswax. Hi, Buckeye Mama. Hi, Pamela. Hi, Sandy Shirley. Hi, Tina C. Hi, Yaya's World. How you doing? Hi, Lucas. Welcome. Welcome in, everybody. Okay, so first of all, we're going to start with this because this is the most important thing. This is what really matters, you guys, right? This is what really matters. This little boy, 15 years old, he's still missing. Welcome, Linda. Thank you for being here. Hi, Ravenwolf. Thank you, Purple. So this Amber Alert is still active. Hi, Golf Inspector General. Good to see you. How are you doing? So this is Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers. He has still been missing since February 26th. He's missing out of Hendersonville, Tennessee. And his family really wants him home. Yes. Green is his favorite color, according to his, I believe both his parents said that, but I remember Seth saying that. So yes, green hearts, that would be wonderful. I appreciate that very much. I'm sure if his family were to see, they would appreciate that. Okay, so he's 15, 5'5", 120 pounds, brown hair, brown eyes. Sebastian was last seen on February 26th in the area of Stafford Court in Hendersonville, Tennessee. Sebastian was last seen wearing a black sweatshirt, black sweatpants, and glasses. Sebastian has a medical condition that may impair his ability to return safely without assistance. If you have seen Sebastian or have any information whatsoever regarding his whereabouts, please contact, and let me put up my banner here we go, so that's up there. Please contact the Sumner County Emergency Communications Center. And I think it's a different, it's the same number. It's a 615-451-3838. Look at all those green hearts. Look at this sweet boy. So I have some pictures here. These are just my favorites that I've saved of him. I know there's so many questions going around about this photo. Like, were they at Red Robin? Were they at Outback? Where were they, right? And was it Sunday? Was this picture? It's my understanding that this photo was not from that night before. And it just as a little aside, some people have been posting this picture and saying that this is a shadow on the receipt from somebody holding up a phone to take a photo of the receipt. You can clearly see it's just a shadow of the napkin. But anyway, if you know me, you know I'm a stickler for details. Things like that drive me crazy. Let's see what this one is. Okay. Oh, you couldn't get me within 10 feet of a snake. I do have one photo of me holding a snake. I thought I was going to have a heart attack. My dad talked me into holding it. It was crazy. So, brave, sweet little boy. I don't like it. I missed that second one. I'm getting his glasses. Please take a good look at this little boy, you guys. I mean, we never know. You may have seen him somewhere and you just don't even recognize that you've seen him. We never know. People do see these children in vehicles or somewhere. This is one that the TBI put out. Beautiful photo. Beautiful photo. I have 2 boys and a girl, and then my grandchildren are also 2 boys and a girl. And what a sweet baby. Look at these puppies. I know everybody just wants him to get home, right? So I just wanted to highlight these photos before we begin. I mean, look at him. He had so many talents, and friends and family, all of his friends and schoolmates miss him. Everybody just wants this boy with this huge smile to come home, right? And there's so many questions about what has happened to him. When exactly did he go missing? And, it's just so sad. See that I don't know for sure, because there's a few Facebook groups and everybody's kind of gone back and forth on that. It might have been, I don't know. This is his mother, Katie. All right, so we're going to watch this really quick, and then I'm going to get into one other thing here.
It's now day 32.
And then I'm going to explain a little bit about this evening as well, what I'm doing tonight.
in the search for Sebastian. His biological father, Seth Rogers, told me earlier this week that neither his son's mother nor stepfather, who you heard from there, has spoken to him about the investigation, despite making other public appearances.
It's supposed to be about Sebastian. They wanted to talk about themselves. I don't get that. We need to get Sebastian's face out to everybody. Have them looking for Sebastian. This isn't about me. It's not about his mom. It's not about his stepdad. This is about Sebastian. He needs to be found.
Sad situation there. All right, joining us.
Now, I don't know about you guys, but I could not watch that. I could not watch that and not cry. I've had to watch it like 5 times just so I can watch it without really crying. My heart really, really breaks for this man. I feel so bad for him. He has been out there just walking, probably hundreds of miles looking for his little boy. My heart just really goes out to him.
Now, former FBI agent and News Nation law and justice contributor Jennifer Coffendorfer. Jennifer, it's always nice to see you. First of all, I'm curious what you think about the United Cajun Navy calling off the search because they say they've received threats. I mean, I've never heard of such a thing, Jennifer.
It's crazy what's going on in this case, honestly. I've never seen anything like it either. What ends up happening here is web sleuths and YouTubers have, in this case, it would seem, taking the situation too far. Where now, they believe some people are involved in nefarious activity, possibly the parents, possibly the United Cajun Navy, and there's threats being lodged, and I've actually confirmed them. So I feel very confident in saying that there are complaints that have been lodged with the sheriff's office and that there are safety concerns. And, advocacy, getting this story out there, all of that is so welcomed. Web sleuths do such a nice job, Brian, as you know, digging up information. But where it crosses the line is when threats start happening. It's unbelievable.
Is it weird to you, though, that they would pull out? I mean, they seem like really, tough men and women. They go out and do these searches. Why would they let that stop them?
Well, I think in this case, the United Cajun Navy is a small part of it. They're really handling, my understanding, is the organization of it. In other words, individuals come there, they're given a place to search in groups of 2. So they're more the volunteers, not necessarily the people even in the Cajun Navy, but even if you're associated, at least a couple of people have been threatened, is my understanding.
So disturbing. All right. Hearing that podcast with the stepdad, saying that he, I think, swatted Sebastian with a belt. Now Sebastian's missing. The stepdad and the mom apparently aren't talking to the biological dad. The stepdad and the mom took off in the RV from the house. I mean, do you find any of those things to be concerning?
I do. I find some of it to be concerning, but having had my last case very similar to this case, autistic boy, the mother failed the polygraph, all signs were pointing at her, and she was being deceptive, but she was being deceptive because she had left a door open and he got out. He ended up drowning in a nearby pond. My point is that there's a lot of inconsistent statements out there. I want to understand why. I'm also concerned, Brian, remember, law enforcement searched a landfill with a probable cause affidavit. That's concerning. What was the probable cause? So certainly there's a lot of things in this case that are very concerning.
Yeah, I was just about to bring that up because here you've got a ground search and you've got the United Cajun Navy coming in and volunteers. And in a way, it's confusing because then you had the police very specifically with a warrant going to the landfill and searching. And those things don't really seem to necessarily match up. But it's definitely one that we'll all stay on. Poor little Sebastian. I mean, he's such a cute kid. It's heartbreaking to think that he's still missing all this time later. So we'll stay on it. Jennifer Coffendorfer, thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate it.
Okay, so that was News Nation yesterday evening, last night. Okay, and then let's see. I can't read this. So this is part of the group. Now keep in mind, this is United Cajun Navy. These are the ones that have been out there. United Cajun Navy. I'm going to get through my notes here. Okay. All right. Make sure I got my notes ready. Okay. So they do a ton of great work all over the nation. And it really saddens me that they've been disparaged in any way because of the research that I've done and speaking with them myself. They don't deserve this at all. Any shade cast their way, they just don't. And I'll be sharing a little more. Now, let's see. Okay, this is the United Cajun Navy's Facebook post from this morning. I believe that's what this says here. I got all my clips going. Okay, so it says, please share. Good morning, everyone. We're going to start our expose with the guy everyone has been warning us about, Jonathan Lee Riches, JLR Investigates. He goes by JLR, which apparently stands for Just Lies Repeatedly. JLR is a convicted felon who spent multiple stretches of hard time in prison, one of which the charges were attempted kidnapping of a kid who JLR claimed to be their uncle. He showed up at one of our searches for Sebastian. Now, this is to explain, and I'm not doing this to give JLR any attention. Not my intention here at all. I just wish to clear this up. And I have a little more information to show you guys too. He showed up at one of our early searches for Sebastian, not to assist, but to live stream it for his YouTube channel. He didn't have any interest in helping. He was just trying to get views and make money off a missing child. When he was asked to either help or leave, he became very combative and threatened one of our volunteers. And as Jennifer Coffin-Naffer stated, she did verify the police reports. I understand that too, Goff, but I think that when you're a victim of slander and defamation of character, which is very well documented here, I think that it's okay to lash out a bit. I mean, yeah, no, it's definitely not that. Okay, so you can read the rest of that if you want. I'm just going to go down here. You can pause on if you're watching replay. Just going to go down here and play this little portion here.
He's praying for the victims and members. He also attended a memorial site where he identified himself after serving 10 years. He was Lanza's uncle. He was arrested for federal parole violation. Riches was reportedly released earlier this year after serving 10 years in a federal prison.
Okay, so you can go and watch that if you want on their page. There was now here's where the confusion happened. Okay, yeah, this is about Sebastian. So this is right here is where the actual confusion happened. Where's my other screenshot? Hang on, because that's not even the right one I wanted to pull up. Just a second. I mean, it is, but it isn't. Just a moment here. Here it is. Okay, so when JLR did put this out, it says the founder of Cajun Navy 2016 made the news after being arrested for defrauding elderly man. Google Cajun Navy 2016, right? But if you look here, oh no, that's not the right one either. Oh, here it is. Sorry, guys. I was watching his live and doing some screenshots. Okay. So as you can see right here, it says Cajun Navy 2016. Right there. You guys, he was talking about the wrong group. He had United Cajun Navy confused with Cajun Navy 2016. Completely different group of people. But he was attaching things from Cajun Navy 2016, and he kept calling him Cajun Navy 216. But anyway, so he was confusing the two and I guess blaming United Cajun Navy, because here you see in the title right here, this is not true. The founder of this group is the one that he was actually talking about. Does that make sense to you guys? So he was speaking about them, but had their information up. So he had these confused, and he has said bad things about them, but he's actually been talking about them. It's just, there's a lot of groups. Okay. So I spoke with Todd Terrell, the photos that I showed you, and he explained some of the history of the group, how the different Cajun Navy groups started. They were originally, it was a term, Cajun Navy was given by, is it Colonel Russell Honori, who was over, who headed up, he was in, he headed up the Katrina searches, and they started calling these different groups the Cajun Navy. But then after the Katrina was all cleared up, they each formed their own groups and continued. Some of them, continued helping all around. So, no. He's actually, if you look here, he's talking about them, but the information that he was putting up about, and I'm going to show you, was connected to this group, not to them. I'll show you in just a second. But they had, it was a joint task force under Katrina, and then after Hurricane Katrina, they all split up into their own groups. Originally, the Cajun Navy was the one that formed in Louisiana to begin with. After all of a sudden, some things happened in 2017 where the founder was arrested for taking money from an elderly man, which is what JLR was talking about. They changed their name to Pinnacle Search and Rescue. And then later, they changed it back to just Cajun Navy. In the meantime, this group of men, the ones that I showed you here, they're the United Cajun Navy. So let me show you some information about who he was actually talking about. Bear with me just a moment. And I'm going to go to my clips. Okay. Oops. There we go.
Family. He also set up an account for the
Channel at 10.
He's definitely taken advantage of a lot of people, because a lot of people donated to this GoFundMe with the intentions of all of that money going to these kids, and it didn't. I just want to make sure that nobody else gets scammed by him.
Accusations against the founder of America's Cajun Navy lead to his arrest. Deputies say the money was taken out of a GoFundMe account meant to help a foster family.
John Billiat was arrested for felony theft and misappropriation of funds. He's accused of stealing money intended to help those foster families at Christmas. Tonight, we're hearing from that family. Kendria LaFleur joining us live in studio with.
Okay, so again, this is not this group that this guy was with that JLR is actually talking about. This is John Billiat. He was the founder of the Cajun Navy, not the United. Yes. Okay. So this is who JLR was talking about, but he was blaming the United Cajun Navy group. And so the only reason I'm bringing it up is because it's just, I don't know where JLR got that information, but it's just wrong. That's what I'm saying. Beautiful. That's what I'm saying. This is the, well, not original, but it's just one of the groups. The Cajun Navy. The group that Todd is with, the one that Skip and the one that the families called for the searches for Riley Strand and for Sebastian, that's the United Cajun Navy group. Has nothing to do with this man here. Right, because he said the wrong name. All right. So there was that. Moment. Now the United Cajun Navy group is this one.
We love these boys like our own. And it's just as hard on them.
Man, that was sad, wasn't it? My goodness.
Already this afternoon, we've seen some of those crews actually getting in the water and helping search. Now, right behind me is Ryder.
There we go.
You know, Riley was being chased. He was being followed.
So these guys back here were with them, and this guy, this is Randy. They were with them. They're with the United Cajun Navy group, not just the Cajun Navy group out of Louisiana. Completely different group. There's like 30 different groups. They're all different. The United Cajun Navy group were invited by the Strand family and by Sebastian's family. So let me catch up with chat here. Yeah, I understand that. I did try to email him and let him know, but I didn't get a response. Yeah, no, I credit him for being, like getting out there, but I'm just letting you know what their side of it was. And catching up with chat here. Can anybody explain on, if I go here, where's that little screenshot I had? Okay, so help me understand on this right here, just this, where he was talking about this group, Cajun Navy 2016, which is the other guy, that group. I'm curious about that. The people that were out there, though, were not with the other group that had the problems. Yeah, I agree. Let's find Sebastian. I'm just looking through chat here. Bear with me. Can you guys hear me? All right. Well, unfortunately, yeah, he doesn't want to come up now. Yeah, he doesn't want to come up now. He's seeing chat, and no, he doesn't want to come up. So I really don't see a point in continuing. So one moment, please. Give me just a moment. I'm going to talk with them. Okay, so it is my understanding that I'm just reviewing my communications here. He doesn't, it's, hang on, I'm looking through. Okay, so I was going to give Todd Terrell his opportunity to explain everything himself, but then he saw what was happening and he's concerned. He feels that he's not comfortable now. So hang on just a moment. So he wanted to explain what they've actually done in this search, and I think it's okay to let you know. I know the word's been put out that they left the search, stopped searching, but he did let me know that that is not true. They're just not organizing searches as they were. They're just doing it on their own to stay because of the threats. So that's all I know. And I'm not going to speak for him any more than that. I mean, I had a couple of phone calls. I'm just not going to speak for him since he's not here and he's not comfortable now. So, yeah, that sucks. But I can't make anybody come up. And that's sad. I'm disappointed. I have not gotten to ask him who specifically threatened them or anything. I have not gotten to ask. But I know he's reading chat. and he's concerned. So, I mean, I don't blame him in a way if he's going to walk into, a bunch of hate fest, I understand that. I understand his concern. He wanted to bring this back around where it needs to be, clear up, the confusion, and then get back to the, I call Seth a liar. I fully support Seth. What are you talking about? You can go. No, my heart breaks for Seth. My goodness. I'm one of the few people who haven't gone after any of the parents because we just don't know. I'm not going to point fingers at anybody. We have questions, definitely have some questions. There's been, like Jennifer Coffindeffer said, so there's some inconsistencies and we have questions, but yeah, I'm definitely never called Seth a liar. I don't know even where they got that. No, I fully support Seth. Fully. Yeah, Seth himself supports United Cajun Navy Group. And he does still speak with them all the time. He's still in constant communication with them. So that's all I know. He asked for them, and so did Riley's parents. So he has backed out. He does not feel comfortable now because of chat. And that I am so sorry. Todd, I'm very, very sorry. Wanted to give him an opportunity to get this train back on the track. You know what I mean? Because it has gotten kind of crazy. And like I said, I didn't do this for any kind of bashing whatsoever, just to correct the path. This group of people are not the same people that JLR pointed out. That's all. So our intention was to get this information corrected and get everybody back on the right track and the focus back where it needs to be on this little boy right here. This is all that matters. So people that are, threatening or causing confusion, it's dumb. So it's very sad. I mean, if I was in Tennessee, I'd be out there looking. I've helped with searches here in Oklahoma. And yeah, it's not easy emotionally to get out there and look. It's exhausting, physically and emotionally. So Seth has been out there from day one. He's never quit looking. He's literally exhausting himself looking constantly. So let me see if I still have that other interview. Yeah, this is his latest interview. It's a really good one. I'm going to play it really quick because it's not very long while I'm catching up with chat here too. I mean, before I begin this, if you guys go over to, yes, I mean, maybe you guys can change the tone of chat. Maybe he would change his mind, but I did watch Deception what's that channel called again? Deception Detective. Am I saying that right? And he watched this interview, and it was a really good review of this interview from Seth.
It's been more than a month since your son went missing. How are you feeling today?
Same as I was yesterday. Just continuing the search, continue looking. I'm not going to give up. Nobody can make me give up.
And where have you been searching? Where do you?
Who was asking anybody to unsubscribe or report people? Where is that? Because if there's something like that in here about anybody, please remove it. I don't go for that. Hey, Chloe. Trying to see if maybe I can give him a minute. Maybe he'll change his mind.
I think he is.
I've been searching everywhere. I mean, anything out of that 5 mile radius that the initial search did, they covered everything there. But there's stuff elsewhere. I mean, we got a lot of territory to cover. And it being over a month, he could be anywhere currently. So I'm searching everywhere.
You, Katie, and Chris had a meeting with TBI today. Did you find out any new information?
Not that I can discuss.
Any progression that might show hope in this search?
Oh, I always have hope. Can't take that away from me.
And how confident are you that Sebastian is alive, and what do you think he's doing right now?
Pretty sure he's probably playing video games somewhere. Nobody's letting him, whoever.
See, this is some I don't feel comfortable repeating things that Todd told me. I wish he were here to tell you guys himself things that he told me. Let me check my text again and see. Yeah, I don't care, Heidi. That's fine. I just got your text. Yeah, I haven't gotten a text from him for several minutes, so. Yeah. Right. You don't need to announce. Yes, Golf Inspector General, I do agree. I don't care. I want to highlight that because that is just a really good point. This is about what has been done to the search efforts for Sebastian. It's muddied the waters. It's my understanding that there's been several YouTubers that have connected United Cajun Navy with the other group, and they have nothing to do with each other at all. So to me, it's just about correcting, like the train's off the tracks, right? Just trying to get it back on the tracks so that people can do what they need to do without all the harassment and BS that does not belong in the search for a missing child. None of that is necessary. None of it. Don't even get me started on the other YouTuber, I think it's called Narked Divers. Go to the channel called Jonesin and look at her review of it. She's spot on what she said. I don't think he was paying attention to what was going on because he was just way off. And it's just caused so much drama. There doesn't need to be all this drama. I do agree with that too. And that's why I wanted him to, and he backed off because he felt like he was walking into a hornet's nest, and I understand that too. So I'm disappointed that chat just immediately, without giving somebody the opportunity to speak, would just go off like that. That really wasn't cool, y'all. So I'm not happy about that. Would have been really great to have him come up and tell the things that he has done, that they have done for the search, and things that he has found out, Just go watch Joneson's review on it. It was she played the parts that he left. He had a misunderstanding too about what happened during the Riley Strand search. So exactly. I have no sides. I am on nobody's side either, right? Except for Sebastian's. That's all my intention is to get the train back on the track so that everybody can go back to doing what they're doing. And I am not comfortable. I've got my whole phone call with him Hold
It
on.
doesn't.
I've got my whole phone call with him recorded, but I'm not going to play it unless he was here to go over it with you guys. Because I'm not that person. You know what I mean? I'm not that person. I wouldn't do that. So I'm not going to be playing my phone call with him. There's really nothing more I can do, you know? It's just so sad. I will, Snoopy. Well, in speaking with him, and that's why I can't speak for him. You know, he explained these things to me on the phone, and you know, he said he wanted the opportunity to speak and explain things, but then backed out at the last minute once he saw chat. And that's not on me. That's on him. I really wish he would have come up. Let me see if there's anything in my notes that I can repeat without him being here. He said he feels that there's been a lot of, you know, competition and jealousy going on. He said all the drama and things regarding YouTubers has got to stop. There's sadly more missing people than any of us can handle. And that was in reference to, you know, all the different search groups out there. But, you know, his point was that that one live that had the Cajun Navy 2016 up, those misdeeds were placed on this group, United Navy, Cajun Navy, and that was wrong. That's all I'm saying. That's what he is saying, and I wanted to give him the opportunity to do that. He said they do a lot of work with human trafficking. He said they're doing good things and God is blessing them. He said, we didn't pull out of the search. We're just not telling people what we're doing now because of the, you know, because of the threats. What's interesting is he told me that he thinks that they know where Sebastian is, but they can't get access. And I was floored when he said that. I was absolutely floored that he said they think they know where he is, they can't get access. What do you think that means? I was hoping that he could explain a little more about that for sure. That's a really big statement to make. It would, you know, is Sebastian alive somewhere? Does he feel somebody? Yes, he did tell me that they did make law enforcement aware of what they had found. So I don't know. But, you know, he was telling me about all the things that they do all over the United States. He was wanting to highlight the good things that they do. He said they just did an Easter egg drop in Iowa today, 10,000 Easter eggs. They just did that earlier today. I mean, there's just some of this stuff I can't repeat because he's not here, but I don't care about letting you know what he said about the search. Maybe I'll keep texting with him and I may just put out the phone call. I don't know, because he said so much in the phone call, but I'm leery about playing that without him here because he was really upset about the JLR thing. He doesn't want to give JLR attention. I think maybe some of the drama happened around that. I don't know. All I know is he wanted to set the record straight and then have everybody just kind of move on, you know? Yeah. Well, they have made some statements, and like Golf Inspector General said, maybe they haven't gone about it the right way. But I hope maybe they're going to have to get the train back on the tracks themselves now. So, Chloe, he said that JLR wasn't searching. He was just live streaming. That's all I know. That's what he told me. course, I wasn't there. I don't know. He wanted to give his side of the story. That's all I know. And I really don't know why he would just completely back out at the last minute. That really sucks. So I do apologize that he backed out, but nothing I can do about that. I will quote Seth on one of his last interviews. He said, hang on, because this was a really good quote that he made. Here it is. He said, and it just broke my heart when he said this. He said, I want to watch him finish growing up. That is what a real parent does. They keep going, even when they don't know where to go or where to look, but they know they're going to flip the whole world upside down to find their child. And that's what Seth has been doing. So I fully support Seth. I don't understand what's going on with Katie and Chris. I don't understand any of that. It doesn't make any sense. I try to empathize, put myself in people's, their shoes, and, be like, what would I do in that situation? And of course, I've never had a missing child, but I have had a missing cat. So follow me along here. I had my beloved cat went missing, and I wouldn't even leave the house. The whole time that she was missing, I wouldn't go anywhere. Just my cat, right? I kept putting Tuna outside and her favorite blanket and her toys, trying to, put the smell of home out there so she could find her way home. And it finally did work. She was missing for like 4 or 5 days, and she finally came home. But for that entire time, I wouldn't even leave home. So I'm just trying, if you put that on a scale of a cat to a child, that's probably like 1 million, right? I could not leave my house if my child's not there. I didn't know where my baby was. I couldn't even leave my house for my cat when she was missing. What are they doing in an RV out of town? What are they doing? I don't get it. Yes, Seth is a real father. He has just, oh my God. I don't understand. And I don't understand if it's Katie or if it's Chris. I've watched their interviews, all of their interviews. I've watched all of Seth's interviews. Seth has been on so many interviews, and I've watched all of them. He's gone 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 interviews. And that's just the ones that I have found. And I think Katie and Chris have done, 2 or 3? And now they're in an RV somewhere. I don't get it. You couldn't pull me away from my house. You couldn't peel me off of my driveway if my baby was missing. I don't understand at all. And does anybody even know for sure? I've watched, their interviews, and I can't tell based on what Chris said if he actually took a poly or not. He kind of twists it around a little bit. You know what I mean? He kind of twists it around, like danced around the bush. Didn't really answer it directly. He did not. Okay. It seemed like in one of the interviews that Katie kind of alluded to it, but she didn't quite say it clearly. And so I've been wondering about that. I mean, are they being monitored where they are? So, let's see here. Trying to keep up with chat, got a little bit behind. The pharmacist, hello, says TBI has taken our statements as we saw what transpired. We're here for Sebastian. What did you see that transpired? What did you see? If you can say, since I'm not sure what you're talking about. Regards, you should not be done. You're not wrong. It's my highlighting not working. There we go. Regardless, he should not have backed out, period. This is a child, and he needs to be a damn grown-up, a grown adult at this point. Crying over JLR is ridiculous. I believe in JLR was searching before CNN got there. The one before that. Oh, okay, hold on. Bear with me. Let me go and find this chat. I'm going to get to this one really quick. Yeah, I mean, I could probably play that part of the conversation. StreamYard just backs up. It's letting me highlight for the comment and highlight. It's not letting me click on my current comment. That's weird. Hang on, you guys. I am going to leave and come back in and see if it'll fix it, okay? In just a moment. Let me leave. Hold on. Okay, am I back? Now let me see if it'll let me. There we go. Now it's working. That was weird. I couldn't click on anything. I had to completely shut my window down and restart my StreamYard. So strange. Okay. So I'm totally lost in the comment now. Okay, went to TBI, how John was treated with imagery and videography. The pharmacist, if you would like to come up and talk and let us know what because I missed your original comments now. That sounds crazy. I gotcha, Goff. Gotcha. I mean, I'm with you. Oh, you sent me a text. Hold up. Let me get my text. Oh, okay. Here with X search. Oh, that's amazing. Okay. Well, thank you for all you're doing out there, the pharmacist. Thank you so much. Thank you, Heidi, for sending me that. I couldn't get back to it. once I had to leave StreamYard and come back in, I can't go back up. So yeah, I have questions about that, and I am, believe me, I will be following up on that immediately. Do you guys think that it would be okay for me to play that portion of my phone call with him where he said that about Sebastian's location? Or no? Because that is what he said. Okay. I'm going to pull up the phone call. I'm going to mute myself while I find the spot. Okay. Hold on just a moment. You know what? I think it's still going to, well, I'm not sharing my screen, so it should be okay. Hang on just a moment. All right. Audio check. All right, so here's that portion. Make sure my volume on it is all the way up here too. Yeah. Now, before I play this, I do want to let you all know I am in the state of Oklahoma, and it is legal for us to record phone calls. Just in case there's any question about that, and since he did say that he was watching. But, I mean, if he doesn't want to come up, there's nothing I can do to make him come on up here and explain. Moonflower, goodbye. Okay.
We're doing great things. God keeps blessing us. And you know what? We had to pull out because of threats, but let me tell you something. We didn't pull out. We just backed well, and we're not telling everybody what we're doing.
Good,
Okay.
good.
Now, do I know what happened? We on to something. That's why we're getting followed. That's why we're getting threatened. And that's why we're getting told, threatened to leave. Do we know what happened? No. Do we have a theory that we believe is, the most reliable theory that we're pretty sure is what happened? Of course. Can we get to where the body is, we think? That's why we keep getting shot or threatened, and all kinds of followed and everything else. We know that we're in the right area. We just can't get access to that area.
Wow.
And that was Todd, by the way, Todd Terrell. What do you guys think of that? There was a lot that he said in this phone call. A lot. This part right here really troubles me. Really troubles me a lot. I'm very troubled by that. Yeah. And I wanted him to come up and explain all of this, right? Yeah. he backed out. He said because he felt like he was walking into a hornet's nest when he saw Chad, I guess. And I hope to God Sebastian's alive somewhere. He's just, I'm hoping that somehow, I am hoping based on what we have learned about Chris. Here's what I hope. Just my theory, just my opinion, just putting this out there, okay? This is just my opinion. I hope that maybe, I mean, I don't ever hope that anybody's a victim of domestic violence, but for sake of argument here, if Chris is doing the same thing that Nina spoke about, if you guys have not seen that interview, it's over on Trev's channel. So check that out. Yeah. I don't know, Brittany. So I'm hoping that if that is the case, that maybe Katie sent him away somewhere and has him hidden away somewhere. But why wouldn't she tell Seth? You know, I don't get it. That's my only hope. If anybody needs me to play that again, let me know. Right. Yeah. They're not saying that's definite, but he said, you know, they've been like investigating and stuff, and yeah. Oh, believe me, it will be. It will be. And that's kind of why I decided to go ahead and play that part, because I kind of want that on the record. Awesome. Yeah, he seems really great. And yeah, I think this needed to be on the record, because this is one of the parts of my conversation with him that greatly concerned me. Like, if you know, he didn't say that he gave any of this information to law enforcement either. And that was going to be one of my questions for him. You know, if this is what you think based on, because he said it was based on their investigation, their research or whatever. So absolutely, Red Charm. Absolutely. Yeah. Back up a little bit.
I believe is, you know, the most reliable theory that I know what happened. We just we had to pull out because of, so sometimes it looks like people are mad. It's one person creating it and it's making it look like it's a lie. But you know, for us, we're doing great things. God keeps blessing us. And you know what? We had to pull out because of threats, but let me tell you something. We didn't pull out. We just backed and we're not telling everybody what we're doing.
Good.
Okay.
Good.
Now, do I know what happened? We on to something. That's why we're getting followed. That's why we're getting threatened. And that's why we're getting told, threatened to leave. Do we know what happened? No. Do we have a theory that we believe is, you know, the most reliable theory that we're pretty sure is what happened? Of course. Can we get to where the body is, we think? That's why we keep getting shot or threatened, you know, and all kinds of following and everything.
You know, I find it kind of funny that he tripped over his word there. Did you hear him where he said shot and then shit? Let me back it up a little bit.
That's why we're getting followed. That's why we're getting threatened. And we had to pull out because of threats. But let me tell you something. We didn't pull out. We just backed and we're not telling everybody what we're doing.
Good.
Okay.
Good.
Now, do I know what happened? We on to something. That's why we're getting followed. That's why we're getting threatened. And that's why we're getting told, threatened to leave. Do we know what happened? No. Do we have a theory that we believe is, you know, pretty sure? Of course. Can we get to where the body is, we think? That's why we keep getting shot or threatened.
See, it says
you know, and all kinds of
there.
following and everything else. We know that we're in the right area. We threaten to leave. Do we know what happened? No. Do we have a theory that we believe is, the most reliable theory that we're pretty sure is what happened? Of course. Can we get to where the body is, we think? That's why we keep getting shot or threatened, and all kinds of followed and everything else. We know that we're in the right area. We just can't get access to that area.
Wow.
That's the thing.
Yeah, he actually said that. Take a moment here. Thank you, T-Font, for becoming a member. Welcome aboard. I appreciate you very much. And Heidi, my dear, thank you so much. I think you're rejoining, but thank you again for rejoining or joining for the first time. I'm not sure. I keep having to rejoin my channels too. Thank you guys. Welcome aboard. I appreciate that support very much. Yeah, I'm shaken because I really wanted to give him an opportunity to explain things that he told me. Yeah, I do that too, Heidi. Yeah, see, he told me that their group was confused with the other group. And I mean, it did make sense when he was explaining that, because on the screen it said Cajun Navy 2016, but on the title it said United Cajun Navy, and they are two different groups. So the way he was explaining it made a lot of sense. So I think what I will do is I'll forward the entire phone call to the authorities and let them deal with it. I don't have any contact information for Seth, but if anything, if anybody is listening and knows how to get a hold of him, let me know so I can forward this over to Seth as well. I'd really appreciate that. He told me that he's still in constant contact with Seth. I don't know. Nobody knows for sure who brought the United Cajun Navy into this case. I don't know if it was Chris and Katie or if it was Steph. Does anybody know? Gotcha, fun size. Well, if you're not a victim of threats, you can't do the reporting anyway. It's nothing. I mean, it was Seth that brought him on. So he says he's still talking to Seth. I don't know. Todd said it was drop you. Okay. Okay. Heidi wants to come up. If anybody else would like to come up and talk about this, help sort this out, that'd be great. I don't understand any of it myself. I mean, I'm confused as all get out right now. I am telling you, I am so confused now. Because he said he wanted to come and talk. It says device is not connected, Heidi. Maybe it's, hang on. There we go. You want to, there we go. I'm bringing you up now. Hey girl, what's with the hair?
Oh God, I don't know what happened. What the hell? That's an old.
Fun size, absolute. Thank you very much. I'm going to put my, I don't even know if my Nightbot is on.
Okay.
Let's see if
So I have been following this case really, really close.
So there's my email, fun size. Okay. Can you help get me in touch so I can send the entire phone call over to him? That'd be great. Go ahead, honey. Sorry.
And I was never ever a fan of JLR's until I started kind of following him through the border stuff he's been doing. And I have to say, he has changed so much since he's gotten away from certain people, I think. And he was there before the United Cajun Navy was ever there. He was searching with Seth before they got there. And they threatened him first.
Wow.
Also, Chris's parents are at their house, and they came after not just JLR, but other YouTubers that were there. They got in their car and literally chased him down. And so there's a lot of fuckery, pardon my language, going on right now. And after watching his ex-wife on Trev Time last night, and if anybody has not seen that interview with Chris's ex-wife Nina on Trev Time, you need to watch it.
Yeah.
It is.
I don't have the link handy, or I would drop it.
I got it.
Wonderful.
I'll tell you.
That woman, I was crying when I was watching her.
100% that his family is behind all of this. With the threats and stuff.
That's crazy. Well, I just want to, yeah, I don't, that's the last thing I wanted. And that's why I'm so confused.
I don't know. I did do some research, not very much, on the two separate groups. And
did you hear the call, Fensize?
Yeah, I heard the call, and that needs to be turned over to TBI like now.
I'm asking Fensize. Did you hear what I played? I'm not sure when they came in. So go ahead.
But here's the link to the interview. If anybody has not seen it, you need to go watch that. That's the interview with Trev Time.
You got it? Okay. Thank you for posting that. Okay. Fensize says they're going to come up on panel and talk to us. Oh, okay. I thought Fensize. Hang on just a moment. Get the link back in chat. There we go. I don't know if they've heard this part of the phone call. If they want to hear it, I'm going to play it again for them. Because it's pretty alarming what he said. And I was just speechless. All I could say when he said it was, wow. You know, what are you talking about? Yes, you guys do not miss this interview right here. It is really, really good. Really good.
When she said
totally
that they didn't like taking pictures of themselves with Sebastian because he looked, quote, and this is her words, stupid.
Oh my God.
My whole body went numb. My heart, I could feel it break in half as a mom.
I know.
Who could ever say that about their child?
Oh my God.
Even a stepchild.
Did you see what Chris said? AB was playing an interview earlier. He did.
Yeah.
He doesn't want
I
to
watched
give
the
over
whole
any
thing.
evidence. He doesn't. What?
I watched the whole interview. I was over at the labs after that, watching stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to tell you, if they can do what they did to her, and what his family did to back him regarding her daughter, can you imagine what they're doing to stop the investigation right now?
Okay, I have fun sizes backstage. Do you want to have your camera on or off? Off, okay. I'm bringing you up now. Hi, fun size, welcome.
Hello.
Hey.
Hey, thank you for coming up.
Okay, so a few things I want to say. I lived in Mississippi when the Cajun Navy 2016 originally started after Harvey and all the other tornadoes and hurricanes that they have done. And the United Cajun Navy, or the Cajun Navy 2016, they're an amazing group, and I'm tired of people harassing them. However, the United Cajun Navy is not at all who they are pretending to be. I'm not even going to get into that because it doesn't matter.
Wow.
The point is, if you don't feel comfortable giving your information, don't. If you are being requested to give specific information other than your name and telephone number for searching, don't.
Yeah, I did find that was weird when I saw that, because I've been in a few missing kid searches here in Oklahoma, and I've never been asked anything, not even my name. We were just assigned a group and sent out.
That's exactly right.
So-
That's how I feel.
First of all, the United Cajun Navy coming in, if you go back and look at the interview on Nancy Grace, first of all, the president or whoever, the co-founder or whatever, didn't even know who Seth was. He's like, Seth, wait, that's Sebastian's real father, right? So it wasn't Seth that set that up.
Yeah. And if
So
you
it
look
had
at
to
the
have been
interview,
all of them.
if you look at the interview after Riley was found,
Right, and they're
said-
pretending that they
said-
found Riley, and the group that was with them when they were on the boat, like that, those guys don't even know who these guys are.
And the guy
Yeah,
from the
I did know
United
that
Cajun
was
Navy
correct.
in that interview after Riley was found, the United Cajun Navy said that Seth, the father, asked them to come over. In another interview, they said the mother and stepfather or something,
Correct.
they twisted it all up.
Right.
Wow.
And that video, and I don't know if you saw the whole video
And here's
of
my
JLR, but they did. That's not right.
Okay, so can I just say one more thing real quick? I can't stay on too long, but here's my real question. Let's think about this for a minute. If this is a group, regardless of whether I like them or not, but if they are for some odd reason possibly have a chance of where Sebastian could be, why in the heck are they contacting YouTubers about this? Why have they not contacted law enforcement, since they so closely work with law enforcement?
He said in this phone call that they were no longer working with law enforcement. Did you
Okay,
hear?
so then there's my point. Okay, there is my point. You do not start. EquiSearch does not come in and start a search and then say, okay, I'm no longer working with law enforcement, so I'm not going to reach out to law enforcement if I get an alert or I have a possible lead to where this child is.
Wow.
People, I'm not trying. I'm all against, or all about free thinking, and I encourage it. But please, open your eyes, guys. Like, let's use critical thinking. Free thinking is important, but the signs are all right there. This group is not anybody they are pretending to be.
Right.
If anybody out there, and I'm only going to say this once, if anybody out there has any possible, they even think for a second it could be Sebastian, call law enforcement immediately. Call 911 immediately.
Exactly.
I don't care if you're second guessing yourself. I would rather be wrong and have somebody come and be checked than be right and them not make it in time.
I agree, Fun Size. I agree 100%.
Can we please stop dragging Seth through the mud? Can we please stop making this about anybody but Sebastian?
I don't know who's dragged Seth through the mud. I know I certainly haven't.
I'm not saying, but I'm saying like all of this extra drama is just hurting Seth.
Yeah.
He is trying to find his missing son. Okay.
Exactly.
As
Look at
somebody,
this sweet boy. This is what
exactly.
matters.
Look at that face. Recognize that face.
Memorize this face because,
He could be in any state. He could be in any country. Nobody knows. It's been 30 days.
32.
Like, let's just focus on Sebastian and stop the drama. And I'm not trying to call out channels for that or anything else. I understand that everybody, has questions about this group and this and that. But you know what? If they're not here and they're not searching anymore, why do we even care about them?
Yeah.
Let's be honest.
Were you in the chat when I played the portion of the phone call?
I was not. I will be going back to listen to it. Unfortunately, I am headed out to play Easter Bunny for the neighborhood. So I will come back on and listen to it as soon as I'm done.
It's only about a 1 minute. Let me play it real quick.
Yeah, that's fine. I'll listen real fast.
Okay.
So sometimes it looks like people are mad. It's one person creating it, and it's making it look like it's a lot. But for us, we're doing great things. God keeps blessing us. And you know what? We had to pull out because of threats, but let me tell you something. We didn't pull out. We just backed well, and we're not telling everybody what we're doing.
Good, good.
Now, do I know what happened? We on to something. That's why we're getting followed. That's why we're getting threatened. And that's why we're getting told, threatened to leave. Do we know what happened? No. Do we have a theory that we believe is, the most reliable theory that we're pretty sure?
I just want to speak over it for a moment in case it's being recorded. I don't want this put out there. I am going to send it to TBI. I was not aware of this additional information, by the way, you guys.
So my question. No, go ahead.
The body is, we think. That's why we keep getting shot. Do we know what happened? No. Do we have a theory that we believe is, the most reliable theory that we're pretty sure is what happened? Of course. Can we get to where the body is, we think? That's why we keep getting shot or threatened, and all kinds of father and everything else. We know that we're in the right area. We just can't get access to that area.
Wow.
That's the thing. So we believe we know where he's at. We just can't get to him.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, so again, I'm going to say this. If they had any possible, first of all, being threatened and being shot are two completely different things. You would know if you're being shot at, let's be honest. It sounds to me like that part is just an exaggeration. And no offense, but if they are actually being threatened and shot at, it's because people don't want these guys on their property after doing their own proper research and finding out who exactly they are. People can bash JLR, they can bash whoever they want. That's their own opinion. I personally respect JLR. I think he's changed. Again, I'm not here for JLR. I'm not here for anybody else but Sebastian.
Yeah. Well,
this little boy is missing.
He was telling me that he wanted to correct the information and get everybody back to searching for Sebastian. That's the way he put it across to me.
Okay, but if that's what he really wanted to do, he wouldn't have come on about with all this other information, ma'am.
Yeah,
I'm gonna call it what it is.
Yeah. They went
He'd have
after
started
Jake.
it at Sebastian and he'd have finished it at Sebastian, which is what I am exactly what I'm intended to do right now. Please, if you have time to search, if you are in different states, keep your eyes and ears open. Look for this little boy. If you hear anything that is a viable tip, if you think you see him, anything, reach out to TBI and law enforcement. If you can't contact them or don't know their number, call 911.
Right. They can transfer
Please,
you.
let's bring this back to Sebastian.
Yeah,
there is
absolutely.
a father that is missing his son for Easter right now. That is
can you
heartbreaking. And all of these people in these chats fighting and bickering, you have families to go to hang out on Easter. Some of you do not. But could you imagine your child not being home to open their Easter basket, to go out and do an egg search, to have a ham meal, anything on Easter?
See, he was telling me that they weren't even asking for donations. He was saying that was
Oh,
not
yes,
true.
they were.
They've gotten quite a bit of donations. And let me tell you this also, they
He
also
actually
left
told me
all
how much they've collected, and he said they were out there for 13 days and told me how much they'd made, and that they have big sponsors and all this stuff. And
well, then if they have big sponsors, why were they telling other? Here's the thing: it wasn't even their property. They should have never been telling people to get off it. You don't ask and request people to come help and then kick people off of it. But again, this is not about that. So I'm begging every content creator right now from the bottom of my heart. And I am somebody that also has a missing family member out in this world for over 30 years. And I am begging you to let Seth have a little peace right now without the drama, without the excess bull crap. And let's
Baby.
find his son. Let's find Sebastian.
I'm so
I
sorry
agree.
about
And
that.
This isn't about me. It's not about my family. I'm just saying I know what this man is going through. However, it was not my child. It was my stepmom. Regardless, the pain is unbearable and it's unimaginable. I'm just asking, let's focus on Sebastian. From here on out, please make it about Sebastian. Nothing else. I don't even care about the Proudfoots at this point. Whether they're guilty, whether they're not, we won't know until Sebastian is found. It starts and it ends with finding Sebastian.
Right.
Everything else it's for law enforcement to worry about. That's not our place.
I wanted to say it wasn't my intention. I wanted to address this really quick. It was not my intention to slam JLR. I made it clear I wasn't here to do anything but what this man was telling me he wanted to do. I was supposed to set it up and then he was going to tee it off. You know what I mean? He was going to come and explain. That's how I thought it was going to go down. So I don't support anybody but Sebastian and frankly Seth. That's all I'm here for. I don't know about the other side. Yeah. So I feel like I was a little bit misled, the way he was explaining things. Now I'm wondering if he was, I don't know. I'm wondering if maybe he was gaslit. If you heard the whole phone call, you totally understand why I said the things that I said. But
no, I understand it. I'm just trying to bring everybody back to the reason that there's been thousands of people that have driven hours and hours. There's neighborhoods right now missing a little boy that they are used to seeing every day, whether it's going to the bus or going home. And this little boy left with hardly any friends, and now he's made millions all across the world.
Hi, AB. Yeah. Well, see, and they differed on that too, which is correct. Mom and stepdad said that he didn't have any friends, but dad said that he had a lot of friends. And there's a lot of pictures, from him at school with all of his trophies and with his classmates and his teachers. It seemed to indicate that he had some friends.
Again, that situation is a home situation. I'm not privy to any of that. I've not been there. I've never met this family on any end. But that is their personal business. That has nothing to do with me. What does have something to do with me is keeping Sebastian's name out there.
Yeah.
And in a positive light, not all this negativity.
Yes. Now, Deception Detective did a review of Seth's last interview, and it was so good. It was really, really good. If you guys haven't watched that, please do. And again, Heidi put that link in chat for Nina's interview last night about Chris.
All right. Well, I'm going to have to get off here to go play Easter Bunny for the neighborhood. Again, I will try to get the message out to Seth. But like I said, guys, please, let's focus on Sebastian. Let's keep this positive. Stop bashing people. Even the UCN, it doesn't matter anymore. It shouldn't have mattered to begin with. But let's all pray for Seth and Sebastian right now.
I always admit when I'm wrong, and apparently I'm wrong. Apparently I was wrong. I was misled, and I feel really stupid and terrible. I really, really do. I feel embarrassed.
And that, unfortunately, that seems to happen to every creator. I'm not knocking any creator. I'm just saying creators need to come together in points like this. This is a community that's supposed to be for missing people. This is not supposed to be a bashing contest. If you don't like another creator, that's totally fine. Don't watch them. But you don't have to bash them either. Like, we're better than that. As people and grown adults, we need to be teaching our children better than this.
Yeah.
It starts
Thank
with
you so
us.
much.
All right, y'all.
Thank
Happy
you so much for
Easter.
coming up,
Happy
Jessica.
Easter. Have
Happy
fun.
Easter.
Praying for Sebastian.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Prayers.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Have a good night, guys.
Bye.
All right, you too. Thank you so much. Well, that was informative as hell. Man,
No, I
I
told you.
like
Oh.
her.
Mm-hmm.
I like her. You know, and I should have listened to my dear friend Jules. She was going to be co-hosting with me, and she is smarter than me, apparently. Yeah, I
I
should have
wish you would
known
talk
because
to
of the things
me.
that she told me. Girl, I didn't know you knew about it. I didn't know you were familiar with it either.
Mm. All I've been
let me see
doing
if I
is
can-
all I
not
have
sure
been
where it is in
doing
the phone
is
call.
watching everything I can about this little boy
Yeah.
because
Hey,
it just
I'm gonna play part of this phone call over here. You tell
I
me if you
would
can hear
you know what,
anything or not.
honestly,
Somebody's
to be
wanting a
honest with
portion
you,
of it.
I would not, if it has any information on it, I would just send it to TBI.
Okay. Yeah, he did tell me that in the phone call that they're no longer working with them, and I'll just forward it over instead of just playing it. I'll just leave it like that. So, it needs to be
What
on
part were you
record.
gonna play? What part?
They
Huh?
Trouble said, Crime Sleuth, can you play the part where they say they aren't working with law enforcement? So I was going to skim through the phone call and play just that part.
Okay.
Tell me if you can hear anything. Hang on just a moment.
Okay.
Okay, can you hear that?
No.
Okay, hold on.
Raz wants to know how long the call is in total.
It is, I didn't record the whole phone call. The entire thing, 8 minutes. Oop, hang on, losing my headset. Fell off the back of my head. Okay, my headset fell off my head. Okay, hang on, give me just a moment. Let me find this portion of the phone call. You got disconnected, AB? Did you misunderstand something? I don't know. I don't know, my friend. Basically,
Carmen
I think
said
I was
the call
hoodwinked.
was Carmen said the call was sent to Seth as of a few minutes ago. Good.
Well, not the whole call though, because I only played that one little portion. But let somebody get me his email or something, and I'll forward it over the whole thing. All right, hang on. Let me skim through it one moment.
AB, she was apologizing because she basically got snowed, shall I say, by this guy.
Yeah, he said he wanted to come up and do an interview and explain things, and then backed out. So.
See, and this is just my opinion, is they pissed off the wrong person when they went after JLR, because JLR does his searching. And
this guy
JLR
Todd was telling me that he didn't. So he was like, I would know. I'm in the group. You know, I lead all
did
this.
you see?
You know what I mean?
Did you see the video of it on JLR's?
Yeah, I saw part of it.
Yeah,
I saw part of it.
You know, he recorded it. So,
see, I didn't even get to ask him about Skip. because apparently Skip has 2 different last names, and I wanted to ask him about that. You know, I didn't get to ask him any of my questions. I have a list. So, okay.
Yeah, and JLR, he got the stink out on him. He got the stink out on him. So what did they do? They drug up his past, which all of us already know. He has been honest from the get-go about his past. He has apologized for it. He did his time.
Yeah.
And like I said earlier, I've never been a huge fan of his, but I have actually been watching him a lot more when he's been down on the borders and stuff like that. You know, just something different, something to watch. And what he does, he is making a difference in what he's doing now. And a lot of people won't agree with me, and I know that. And a lot of people don't like him, and I know that. But he has put out some really great stuff in the last, I'd say 6 months to a year. And that's just me.
Yeah, I
You
hear you.
know,
I've been
I
watching
enjoy
too. I've even
watching
shared
him.
his videos.
I mean, I enjoy watching him. He's out on the border, you know, talking about my immigrants and stuff like that, the problems with the immigration. And he's got 4 guys on the other side of the border walking with freaking guns and everything, standing there, you know. And it's like, what are you doing? You know, AB said JLR is bringing perspective people want to see that is not mainstream. This is what being a YouTuber should be about, not getting involved, but delivering the happenings. Thank you. You said what I didn't know how to say, AB.
Okay, give me just a moment. I'm going to skim through this phone call, okay? Can you
Okay.
maybe
Go ahead.
just talk to everybody or something for just a minute? Let me skim through this call, okay? I'm going to try to find just the part where he talked about law
Cover the
enforcement.
story, not be the story. Exactly. He drives everywhere. From one end of the country to the other, he drives and does this. If I could go to Tennessee and look for this little boy, I would, but I can't. Yep, Seth did say that he likes the YouTubers because they bring awareness, and a lot of the volunteers out to do searches. Exactly. Oh yeah, the one on the escaped inmate, that was good. Hold on. Oh, AB. Oh. Yep. Listening to that interview last night. Oh, Lord. Unfortunately, you know, I would hope, you know, I feel the same, AB, but the circumstances around the situation, ran away with no shoes on and stuff. I have my own little theory, but I'll keep it to myself.
Okay, so I tried to skim through. Unfortunately, when to play the audio of this, I can't mute StreamYard. So I had him like you playing, like you talking, playing on top of it, and I just can't, just too stressful. So he did say that in the phone call. I'm not going to worry about trying to find it. I'm just going to send the whole thing over.
Yeah,
I
he
don't
did
even
say
know
it.
what, like, I don't even know like what email address or where I need to send this. If anybody knows, can you help me out?
I'll get with Justin.
Okay.
I cried 3 times today alone listening to her interview. At least I know I'm not completely psychopathic and have some humanity left, so it made me feel better. Oh, AB, you do. I bawled listening to her last night. I went, oh.
Carmen, thank you.
And when they threw the baby.
Get a hold of me so I can forward it over to him too. And I need an email address to send this to whoever I need to send it to.
Like I said, the minute that they said that about, well, all of it really, I mean, how they stole her baby and threw the baby one time and what they did to her at the sheriff's office. The sheriffs wouldn't do anything to help her. And
yeah, I've seen her interview twice. I saw it first on Trev's and then I watched it again. Is it on AB's, I believe? Yeah. And
I watched it on the lab last night, and I actually was in AB's too today.
Yeah, so sad. And my heart goes out to her too. I kept thinking the whole time she was talking, I was like, you know, she's getting her power back. It's like it reminded me of the movie Stella Got Her Groove Back, you know? She was taking her power back, and that is always very empowering.
Sebastian's case has had me very emotional at times from BS, yes.
Yeah.
The abuse
I'm gonna update my
anybody can relate to. Think about how different. I'm gonna tell you something, AB. As I was watching that last night, all I could think of is what happened to my sister and with her ex-husband, and it's very, very similar to that situation. Very similar. My parents spent almost $500,000 trying to get my niece back.
What do I hear in the background there, Heidi?
That is my dog. That is Gizmo.
This is so cute.
He's talking to me.
Aww.
He's actually sitting here talking to me.
Oh my goodness.
Because he hears me talking to you, is what it is.
Oh, okay. Yeah, mine do that too.
Yeah, see, he's talking.
Oh my goodness. He sounds like a little mini donkey.
He's a little papillon.
Look at Crime Lines and Lies community post. Steph's mom made a statement. Steph's mom made a statement. Okay, hang on. I'm going to go look. I've got her in my frequents, so I don't even need to type it out. Go. Just a moment. Okay. I don't think she would mind if I share this, so I can read it. Okay. Says very powerful statement from Sebastian's grandma, Steph's mom. It definitely took courage to speak out. Trevor did a good job. Okay, let me see if I can click on it. Am I going to get to see the whole thing? Can you read it? Here it is. I want to thank Nina Gomez for having the courage to stand up to the Proudfoot/Bowser Sox family. It is important to shed light on the type of people we're dealing with here. I just want to restore what I have said before. We, the Rogers family, are not afraid of Chris, Katie, or any member of the Proudfoot/Bower Sox family. We will find our grandson. We will prosecute anyone and everyone involved. You can follow us around and try to intimidate us. We are relentless in our searching justice for Sebastian and ultimately for Faith, her siblings, and Nina. Stand by. We are on our way back to Tennessee for an Easter miracle. Thank you for all your continued support and prayers. Now let's find Sebastian. Oh,
Wow.
amen.
See?
Wow.
Yep.
Thank you, Brooks, for posting that. Wow.
No, they're not, AB.
No, AB. Goodness. You're so silly. Oh my gosh.
And those last names are Scottish, not Native American.
Thank you, Buckeye Mama, for letting me know about that. Thank you. Oh my gosh. I can't imagine. Like I was saying earlier, you know, when my cat went missing, I wouldn't even go anywhere. And she was gone for several days. Just for my cat, I wouldn't even leave my house. I couldn't imagine what I would, you know, feel or do if my child was missing. I know for a damn fact I wouldn't be going anywhere in an RV. Her whole reason for leaving was to accompany him
Mm-hmm.
go back to work. Like what?
But yet, in one breath, you said he wasn't working.
Yes.
That was to be determined.
To be determined.
And then he
15
says
minutes
he's
later, he
gone
changed.
back to work.
And then she was like, well, how, you know, what about you? And I am not the biggest Nancy Grace fan at all. I'm really not. But
Oh,
she knocked it out of the
like
park with that interview, with the direct questions.
Yep.
She really did. Sometimes she does a fantastic job. Sometimes I think she's a little too dramatic for my liking. But
The way they
she did
acted
really good
on
that
there,
one.
the way
Mhm.
they acted on there was pathetic.
It was weird. It was like, does she not have any feelings, or is she very medicated? I couldn't really tell. And you know me. I don't point fingers at parents. I don't. You know this.
Yeah.
We had this whole conversation about
Yep. I don't like to point
Soto's
fingers at
mom.
parents, but after
I don't like
there's
to
just
do
too
that.
many. And they
I
very
mean,
well could he very well could have ran away.
but
He
like
could have
Seth
ran
said,
away.
he wouldn't even go outside without shoes on.
Yep.
So, and
There's
he
so many
sounds like a
things.
parent who knew his child. You know how sometimes you'll have a parent that doesn't live with the child and they couldn't tell you anything about him, you know? They're not even really sure what grade they're in. You know, they don't know anything about them. They don't know their favorite color or what they like to do, nothing. They don't know anything about him. And Seth knows everything about that child. So you can tell that they were close.
Yeah.
That's why my heart just breaks for him. Lawyers are assholes. That's why they make the big bucks. So true, AB. So many of my friends are attorneys, and I don't think they're going to care. They're all buttholes. They're all buttholes. They definitely have a superiority complex, all of them. And they earned it. You know, that's why it doesn't really bother me. They earned it. The amount of knowledge that they have to have in their head just to pass the bar is incredible. And that's only where they're starting as a newbie attorney, just to pass the bar. Then they still got more to learn after that. So yeah.
GGB, that's we don't know.
What was the question?
He said she said, just a thought, maybe Chris made him go barefoot at times. We don't know.
I don't know.
Here's the bottom line. They have changed their story so many times. The misinformation that they've said and then changed it, and whatever, however you want to call it, the lies. How can people not doubt them?
Yeah. Yeah, that you and you know, if for anybody who's new here and you're not familiar with me, I like to look at both sides of an issue or even a case. You know, I don't like to just pick a side in anything.
Yeah.
I like to kind of look at both sides. And in this case, what I did was I went back and I made a list of every interview that Chris and Katie have been on and all of them that Seth has been on. And I got out my notepad, just like I did when Stacey Wonders interviews, you know. I made me a list and I went back and I watched every one of their interviews and I took notes on everything that they said. Guess how many times Seth changed his story?
0.
He's been on at least 10 interviews that I've watched just in the last, since yesterday. I watched all of them, binge watched all of them. Not one detail has changed in any of his stories, in any of his interviews. Nothing. Katie and Chris, their stories, I found 4 different big inconsistencies. And that doesn't sound like a lot, but they've only done, and I don't know how many they've done for sure, but I was only able to find, I think 3 interviews or 4. I think 3. But I found 4 where they completely changed their story. And then on the last one, I'm not really counting, is the one where Chris said, you know, I'm not really working right now. It's kind of up in the air. And then 15 minutes later, it's, oh, we're leaving our house because I'm going back to work. And then Nancy was like, well, what about you, Katie? And she's like, oh, I'm going to accompany him. And
Yep,
I can't quite figure out, like, if she's a victim as well, because that does happen. You know, maybe she's scared for her life or something, or if she knows something. I can't put my finger on it because she acts so like there's no emotion to pick up on. None.
She's got the blank stare.
Totally. And I don't blame anybody for that in that position. I don't judge for that because you don't know what they're going through. We just don't know what she's going through. So I'm not going to judge for that alone. But it made it really hard to pick up on anything. You know? So freaky. But knowing what we know about Chris, was he doing the same thing to Katie and Sebastian?
At Blackheart,
Faith.
Nina was his 4th wife, mind you. Katie is his 5th wife. So there's 3 other ex-wives out there that we don't know, you know.
And I'm still missing some information as well about Chris, because when I came into AB's live earlier, I only got to see a little bit of it because I was still texting and talking with allegedly innocent and also with Todd. And so I was trying to focus on that and get ready for my live. I got to go back and watch that, because did I not see Chris in that say something about he doesn't want to give up any evidence he doesn't have to? Did I hear that right?
From who?
AB, what was it that he said exactly? If you could put that in chat for me, because I was like, what? And that's why I was like, I've got to come back and listen to this because I have not seen that interview. I would have definitely remembered hearing him say that.
Thank you, Raz. Exactly.
We don't know if Chris, we don't know. We really don't know for sure, because law enforcement, I don't think they would really tell us, the public, at this point. Kind of like if anybody is watching the Idaho 4 case, and law enforcement for the longest time was telling everybody at every press conference that all 4 victims slept through the attacks. Okay. Come to find out, once Brian Koberger was arrested and the probable cause affidavit came out, they were not asleep, unfortunately. Law enforcement, yeah, they can
law
lie
enforcement
to the
can
public.
say, yep, they can lie and say what they want to anybody.
Yeah, because they're protecting their case, and I totally get that.
AB wants you to ask the question again.
I heard a part where Chris was saying he didn't want to give up any evidence unless he had to, or he didn't want to give up any evidence that he doesn't have to, something like that. And I was very distracted, so I probably messed that all up. But I'm going to go back and watch.
I missed that one too somewhere.
That's
Sweet
what he
C
said.
says, yes, that's what he said. Wow.
Is that what he said, AB?
Chris is insistent that Katie join him out of town at a new site during the most extreme crisis. Demonstrate his priorities. I know crane operators all before to a union which will recognize these circumstances.
Yes, unions, absolutely. If you're part of a union, you have something like this going on, they don't want you to come to work. They're fine with you taking some time off. And yes, I know, like I can't figure out who one of them knows, in my opinion, because they don't want to let the other one out of their sight, is kind of the impression that I'm getting.
Well, and he was working on St. Jude's Hospital for children.
Yes, I saw that.
So, I mean, hello. Do they want this person working there right now?
Yeah. We really don't know if, honestly, we don't know the specific date and time that Sebastian went missing. We don't know if it was the 25th or 26th. We don't know if it was the evening of the 25th or overnight into the 26th. We don't know.
Yeah,
We don't know if Chris was there.
He answered everything for her until Nancy Grace said, "Let her answer."
Yeah. Yep. I wrote that down. Yes, Trouble, good point.
Yep.
Trouble says, I'm wondering if that 3-hour phone call was Chris driving home. Yeah. Or establishing an alibi. We don't know. And I don't like to speculate, guys.
I don't
But
either, but
it's got my mind really blown. I just keep going back to the whole, I try to relate, in some way and, think, well, what would I do, And I just keep going back to my cat thing. Even when just my kitty cat was missing, I would not go anywhere. So I know for a damn fact.
there's no way in hell.
There's no way I would leave and go to an RV park. I mean, what if he wandered back home and they weren't there? And can you imagine if that actually happened? What if he showed up at the house and his mom isn't even there waiting for him? I would never let that happen. When
it doesn't make sense, it's a lie. Huh. Being horrible to Sebastian is a way to have power over Katie. I'm afraid you have to be a really strong person to protect your kids against someone like him. You either go against him or you go with him. Yeah, she's just got this blank look on her. She's not there. She's not even there.
So sad.
Memorize his face without glasses just in case.
Oop, I didn't mean to do that. I was going to share his photo again. I hit the wrong button. Hold on.
I know.
Okay. I don't know. Do I have any photos of him without glasses? Let me see.
I don't know.
I don't think I do. Aw, I have photos like that with my kids.
He's so cute.
Glasses. Yeah, it's adorable. I think even they all have, because that's what he looks like. He wears his glasses. This one is my favorite, though, with his little puppies. And you can tell that he has almond-shaped eyes. Almond-shaped eyes, very pretty. Memorize this face, you guys, because you never know. You could be going down the highway and they could go right past you. It happens. It happens. Yes, GGB, she looks too numb. And see, that's why I try not to judge, because I don't know what that feels like to have my child missing. I know I was a panic crazy woman when my cat was gone. But you know, 'cause that was my she was a tortoiseshell kitty cat, and that was my baby.
All I
And she
remember
never
is one time my son, we were in a Shopko pharmacy that are up here. They no longer exist. And Caleb had to be about 5, I'm going to say. And he had to go to the bathroom, and he was at that age where, nope, mom can't come in the bathroom with him, you know? So I stood over by the bathrooms as he go to the bathroom, and I turned away like for a couple seconds. I was looking at something on a shelf, and I turned back around, and I waited and waited, and I asked some man to go in the bathroom to see if he was in there, and he did, and he said, "There's no child in there." I started running through the aisles. I was freaking out. They literally locked down the store. It's a smaller store. It's not big. So they locked it, put it in lockdown.
Yeah.
And here he was, like, how he got within like 3 seconds, 4 seconds, 3-4 aisles down on the opposite end, playing with a toy. I have no idea how he got there so fast.
Wow. So let's read this. This is interesting. I still have a little nagging at me about an angle that is more Seth-centered, like a prisoner beef kind of centered. It is a direction that must be explored, in my honest opinion, along with other possible explanations. I think it is weird. Okay, I do think that it is very weird that Katie and Chris hadn't already been in constant communication with Seth during this time. I don't understand that. I can't wrap my head around it. For those of you who've been with me for a while, I talk about the fact that I have guardianship of my grandchildren. I have co-guardianship with my ex-husband. So he's grandpa. I have the children with me, but he's also co-guardian. This is somebody that I rarely spoke to, didn't really care less if I ever talked to him again. But the minute that we needed to step up for our grandchildren, we did, and we are very communicative with each other. And it's like we never had a beef. You know what I mean? None of that mattered anymore at all.
My ex-husband and I raised our kids, the 4 of us, me and my husband, his wife, ex-husband, his wife. We co-parented. We did everything together. We were always in agreement with everything. All of us would be at the school functions. You would have never known.
Yeah.
I understand what you're saying, Steph.
Yeah. You can guarantee Katie is experiencing a high degree of abuse in the hands of Chris. We see it and see him. Yep. I do agree with that too. Because, you know, abusive men like that.
The thing is,
they don't change.
You cannot tell me they do not have a security system.
That is so weird. You know what? I was going to mention that.
Brinks. She's an installation specialist for Brinks.
Do you know what they do?
They had a code thing on the front of their house.
They probably
does that not? System. Can you have that without a security system?
Yes, you can buy the stickers and signs. Yeah.
No. So, I'm talking about instead of having a key to open the door, they had the pad.
Oh yeah. They all have that now.
But can you have that without having a security system?
Yes.
I don't know.
Yes, you can. We have the same thing on our front and back door, and we do not have a traditional. system.
One of the first things Nina said to Chris was, "Don't you have a security system?" And he didn't answer her.
The
When
thing
he
about
told, you know, you have a child with special needs. I'm sorry, you don't have a security system and you work for one? I may be stupid.
the thing about working for a security alarm company is I worked for one for a short time. Just in that short time, the minute you work for any kind of company like that, you get free service. I had free service through the one that I worked through, and it was the whatever that was, 360. I think it had 360 in the name. I didn't work there very long, but the whole time I worked there, I had free entire security system. They all do that. There's no reason that if she worked for Brinks Home Security that she wouldn't have a full system for free.
You know, and let's talk about the thud.
That was weird.
Okay, I raised 2 boys.
Mm-hmm.
And here's one thing. There you go. AB said it right there. If you have an autistic child, you have a security camera just to capture the moment in time like this. Thank you. Or ring doorbells or anything.
Yeah, see, we don't have we have a custom security system that my husband designed for our house. And
No, see, I have ring doorbells all over my house.
yeah,
So.
we have
But anyway,
we have ring on the front and the back, and then for inside the house and the perimeter, we have a special system that he hooked up. That's just, it's amazing. It's so cool. When you drive when we pull in the driveway, the garage door automatically opens and music starts playing in the garage. And if any of the windows get noise that sounds like broken glass, then we have something special that I'm not going to disclose it. Something that's special that clicks in that starts, and it will automatically, if it hears glass breaking and we're not here to stop it in time, in 20 seconds, it automatically, we have what's called the if this then that app that works with our system, and it'll automatically uses our Amazon, our Echoes, to call 911. And he set all that up. He's like a major nerd with all that kind of stuff.
I agree, Wendy. BS said they were receiving aid for Sebastian, and Sebastian was going to live with Seth at the end of the school year.
Oh, so they would have had cut in income.
So the thud.
Wow.
Okay.
Yeah.
I have 2 boys. And I'm going to be honest here. There's many times I'd be laying on the couch watching TV and I'd hear a thud or whatever in one of the rooms. And I'd yell back at them, "What are you doing? You're supposed to be in bed. Get your butt back in bed." You know, but the thing is here, my children are not autistic. They aren't special needs. And apparently Seth has water on his brain or something like that, or I'm not sure the details on that. So if Seth was like my son and I would have heard that thud, you damn straight I'd be up going and checking on him.
Yeah. My 12-year-old, if I hear a thud, I don't care what time of the day or night it is, I'm going to go physically go look. Because what if she just hit her head on something and she's unconscious and I'm unaware? You know what I mean?
Yeah, but I'm
You're
talking
going to go look.
But he's 15. I'm talking about my kids when they were 15.
Yeah.
There's a difference. How to do so at Yeah World, and for exact reason. Okay.
Have to do so. Yeah.
My kids at 15, I can't, they were into sports. They wouldn't get home till 10 o'clock at night, but so for them to drop something in their room, make a noise in their room was nothing for me. If it was 3 o'clock in the morning, that's a whole nother story.
Yeah, didn't she say that it happened like at midnight and she said, "Oh, no, I don't care what you're doing, go to bed"? Like, really? That didn't make any sense. I don't know. I know, just for me, I would go look. I would just go physically
No, I
take a
thought it
peek
was like
and
at
make
10.
sure.
I thought it was at 9:30 or 10:30. I don't know.
I don't remember if she said 10 or midnight, but to me, it didn't matter to me. I still would get up off my butt and go look just to make sure that they're okay. And tell them right there to their face, it's time to go to bed. I wouldn't be yelling it across the house, especially with a special needs sensitive child. No, I wouldn't do that. No. She admitted to not caring? Are you serious? What interview did I miss, AB? I am definitely going to go watch your last live after this.
Yeah, exactly, Raz, when there's a condition and it may affect them, you need to go check no matter what.
Mm-hmm. Right.
But people like me who have, I can say they're normal or abnormal kids, but they're my kids. I can say that. I love them to death. I would not go. I would yell back. They would answer me and know they're okay. But if he's special needs,
okay, gotcha. Okay.
You need to go look.
Yeah.
Because there's something to do with water. Oh, where did I hear that? He had something to do with the chromosome or something.
I don't know the name of it, but yeah.
There was
Q something.
Seizures.
I wouldn't
Yeah, plus he also had seizures. That is another reason why you would go check.
Highly opinionated.
And this, we know the boy's name is Sebastian. His father's name is Seth. Yes, we know that. I'm trying to remember what they said about water on his brain or something. And if he hit his head in a certain spot, something serious could happen. I can't remember what it was. AB, I think you may know what I'm talking about.
Yes, BS. The footprints leading to the retention pond on the dispatch call. I know they drained it, but I can't stop thinking about it. You know what? I've been wondering about that too. Yes, thank you. Chromosome deletion. Yes. I can't remember the exact name of it. I am so sorry. I saw it on a couple of lives and they said this specific chromosome deletion that he has, Q6, something like that. I don't know. It's super, super rare.
6Q27 deletion. That's what Juju B just said.
Oh, there it is.
Hydrocephalus. So, yeah. Maybe he succumbed to a seizure and she panicked because the CPS cases, so she hid him.
I mean, yeah, we're speculating, to be clear.
It's just a speculation.
I personally think that that's what happened with Kaylee Anthony. I think that Kaylee Anthony's demise was probably drowning, and that her and her father.
That's what. Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
mine
That
mine
could
was
be
a
it.
little more. Mine was a little bit more. Well, I don't even want to say it.
Yeah, I mean, panic like that, I could see that. Never condone it whatsoever. You call 911, period. No excuse for anything else. But yeah,
Yep. Chris
exactly.
had him
Obviously,
backhanded him, hit him with a belt.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And he keeps trying to
Kind
say
of.
that it was years ago, but actually it was this past January, if I'm not mistaken.
I will say, and some people might not like this, but
No,
I
I
am
know what
Gen
you're going to
X.
say because I've done it.
I am Gen X. I was severely whipped as a child. Severely. My
Oh,
mom and
yeah.
dad put fear of God in
Hell,
me.
I got the old orange racetrack car. Those.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Well, with me it's a switch. Mom made me go get a switch. Well, what I wanted to say though is, for me, my childhood, I was spanked regularly with a belt and a switch, and it was completely like nobody cared. Now, most people are like completely anti-spanking. Me, I spanked my oldest child when he was 3 years old with my hand all the way from the street into the house. I did that one time because that child kept running right out into the middle of the street. He was literally running out into the middle of the street. And we were out there on the sidewalk riding his Power Wheels, and he kept jumping off of it and then running out in the street. And he wouldn't stop doing it. And I tried talking with him. I tried reasoning with him. I tried, I'm going to take away your toy. I tried everything and didn't work. Finally, after the 18th time he did it, I grabbed him up, swatted him on the butt at least 4 times. He had his shorts on and all that. Into the house, sat him on the couch, made him sit there for a while. And he never ran out into the street again. That's one of probably 2 times I ever spanked him. I never had to spank with my daughter. She was fantastic. You could even just look at her wrong and she'd be sorry. She was my perfect
Orange
child.
the orange Hot Wheel tracks, wooden spoon,
Oh my
yard stick,
gosh.
anything that was in my mom's
70s
reach,
kid. Yeah, same here.
including a telephone receiver.
Man.
Now, with my children, did they get once in a while get a punch on the butt when they had diapers and stuff like that? Just like a punch, Yeah. Did I smack my kids? Hell no.
Mm-mm.
Did I hit them in the face? No.
Mm-mm.
If I got bit by them, I might tap them on the lips and tap them, that's a no.
Yeah. Well, I raised mine differently, but I am okay with spanking your child if that is the currency that works for them. Every single family and child is different. So I do not judge families who either refuse to or do it regularly. As long as you are doing it correctly and you're not hurting them, it is a complete personal choice. As long as you're not abusing
They
them.
mostly
I don't see spanking as abuse.
They got timeouts.
stuff.
My kids usually got timeouts 1 minute for the year, whatever year they were, but it was useless putting them in timeout at 2 years old and 3 years old because, well, I did, but we had a little timeout chair.
Timeout did nothing for my kids.
I
can tell you each one of my kids had something different. Although with my daughter, she just literally never got in trouble. She was just so good. With my boys, though, they were wild. They were wild.
No, and my boys, I didn't spank them that much.
Yeah, I think I only spanked my oldest one, and that was just that one time because I believe the last time the reason I did it was because this time there was a car coming, And he
Well,
knew better. He
I
knew
have
exactly what I was telling him and why. He was doing it
I
on
have
purpose.
to back up a minute. When my son was 19, he told me to fuck off, and I did smack him in the face.
Well, that's a young adult.
He was 19 and he told me to fuck off. He was mad at me, and I just smacked him. I said,
Wow.
"Don't you ever." Now, mind you, he's 6 foot tall. I'm 5'2.5", you know, and no, you're not going to talk to me like this. And I apologized. You know, I did apologize after,
My
you know.
my youngest did that, and I didn't slap him or anything, but I remember I looked at him, and I was shocked, and then I let myself feel my feelings and let him see me feeling my feelings, where I started to, like, cry, you know, because he's my sensitive child. And when I can't remember what he said. He didn't say "F off" to me or anything.
Oh,
It
mine
was
did.
something close, right? Something really rude. But he was a teenager at the time that he did this. And they
It
say
was
when
a
your kids
well-deserved slap. Yes, it was.
Well, with mine, again, the currency for each child, right? For my
Right.
youngest child, he's the only one that ever said anything like that to me, you know, rude. And all I did was, like, let him see me cry, and oh my god, he was so sorry.
Night, Penny.
Good night, Penny.
Raz, that's funny you say that. Here, they used to put, what are those big fish? Oh, I can't think of the name. But when my sister was in high school, she's 3 years older than me. Her friends, they always thought it was funny to put those big, like, I don't know what kind of fish they are, in our mailbox.
Huh. Man, oh man.
Carp, yes. They would put
Okay,
carp,
okay.
in our mailbox, and then they would also go. It's because nobody has nothing to do when you live out in the country. They would go around slamming mailboxes with baseball bats. So my stepdad created a mailbox out of that metal that has the thick metal that has the little diamonds on it, the real thick stuff, and he put it on a pole that would swing. So when they'd hit the mailbox with the baseball bat, it would swing around and slam them in the back in their car and bust out their window.
Wow. Hey, good night, Blackheart. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate it. And then also really quick for anybody that's late, my guest backed out on me.
Thank God.
And
I was going to leave.
that was not within my control, of course, but I'm very disappointed that he, I don't know how to phrase it. He backed out. He felt that he was being set up, basically.
I think
and
those
that
were a
was
lot of
just not-
trolls that were
That was
coming
not
in.
the case. Some of them were, yeah. Well, man, yeah, we need to focus on this right here. This right
That
here.
is right.
Sebastian Rogers.
Yes.
If anybody has seen him anywhere, please, please, please call this number. Call 911. They can transfer you. If you know anything at all, please. He needs to go home. Preferably alive and safe and with his dad, in my opinion.
Yes.
But I think I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up. I am super disappointed that he backed out. Dare I say chickened out. Because he did have some things that he claimed he wanted to explain and, whatever. That's sad. I'm disappointed, very disappointed. I'm not mad, I'm disappointed. That's something I would always tell my kids when I was mad at them. I'd say, "Oh, I'm not mad. I am just disappointed." Oh, that broke their heart.
Exactly,
Yes.
Raz. I hope Sebastian is somewhere dry and warm, hiding but safe. Exactly.
Yes. Ray, I don't know. I wish I knew because we were good until maybe 10 minutes before I went live. Everything was totally good. I talked with him and texted with him since yesterday.
There was a
Everything
lot
was
of people in
totally
chat.
fine. Yeah, he was getting a lot of heat in chat. So, I don't know. I don't know.
If I were you also, and this is just my opinion and my opinion only, that that recording needs to go to TBI, not local law enforcement, because of what I saw and heard on Nina's story yesterday. The local law enforcement is close to his family, Chris's family, so I would send it to TBI.
I will. Somebody said they were going to email me some information on where I can email it. So, and somebody was going to see if I can help me get it to Seth as well, because I think the whole thing needs to be reviewed by him for sure. Because it can help him. This Todd guy said he's still in constant contact with Seth. So I personally would have no idea if he has told Seth what he told me. So I just want to make sure that Seth is aware,
I agree.
If it could help.
All
Happy
right, well,
Easter to you too, Ray Ray.
I'm going to jump down. Have a happy Easter tomorrow. I have my kids coming over, making a roast because my son's girlfriend doesn't eat pork. So the ham's out the door.
Wow.
And,
well, you have a happy Easter.
She's from Turkmenistan, so she doesn't eat pork.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, have a happy Easter. Thank you for coming up, and I will see you later.
All right. Love you, girl.
Love
Bang,
you
bangs.
Too. Thank you. Bang, bang, gang, gang, girl.
Bang,
see you later.
Bye.
Bye. All right, you guys. Thank you very much for being here. I appreciate you all so much, and I do apologize that he waited until literally I was already live and just totally threw me for a loop. And I don't know. I feel a little bit bamboozled because he knows what he said to me on this phone call. I had the whole thing recorded. He can't say anything different. So I'm a smart girl. I keep my receipts. So that's all I can say about that. I don't understand why everything was a go until literally it was too late to just cancel the live. I was already live. So it is what it is. And I find that very interesting. Thank you so much. I was so confused at the beginning of the live when everybody was just going off like firecrackers in the chat. Now I think I understand a lot more. I'm going to go back and do a little more research, watch a few more lives, and it sounded reasonable to me. And thank you, Ray Ray. It sounded reasonable to me, and he said he wanted to explain things, and at the very last minute, he said he didn't want to talk about JLR. That doesn't make any sense to me because that was the whole reason in the first place. The specific initial reason why he wanted to come on was JLR. So telling me he didn't want to talk about JLR the very last minute after I'm already live, that didn't make any sense to me. I don't understand that. He has my number. If he wants to call and text me and explain that, I would greatly appreciate it. Otherwise, good luck to you, Todd, and your group. Let's all get back to searching for Sebastian and let there be no more drama. That was my only intention in this period. So you guys, thank you so much for being here. Welcome to my new subscribers. that have come over, especially with AB. Thank you so much. You guys have a wonderful Easter tomorrow if you celebrate. And I will see you next time. If you go to my community page, I have started a new second channel. It is just for after dark stuff. So read about that. Please sub up over there as well. I've got some really cool stuff planned for that. I find that I kind of like doing a little bit of reaction videos, and I'm going to have some more adult stuff over there. Not, nasty, but, more adult conversations, more off-topic things, the not so true crime content that I'm also very interested in is going to be over there. So I want my channel to just be here to serve a purpose for helping with awareness in cases. That's all I want to do here. Anything else can go over to the other channel. I think that's a good solution for me. So I don't really want extra nonsense over here. I'll email you some links to their nonsense. Okay. Thank you so much. And again, thank you guys so much for bringing more information my way. I do appreciate it. When I'm wrong, I say it, and I think I've been wrong here. I thought this was going to be completely different, you guys. So I'll see you guys later. Thank you again very much for being here. Have a lovely evening, everybody. Bye. See you later.
Hey, all y'all. How y'all doing today? All y'all have a good day.